Welcome back to another episode of TCG Weekly Packs. So I am super hyped today. So we're not really opening any Gundam packs today, but there will be some Gundam cards opening. But today we are talking about Riftbound. So it's officially October, so that means Riftbound is coming out at the end of this month. And I was lucky enough to attend some Learn How to Play sessions. And I picked up these two promo cards for attending the Let's Learn to Play sessions. So yeah, I'll talk about these afterwards. But I'm so hyped for this game that I went out and ordered some accessories for the game, essentially. So initially, I was going to use these figures here for the point counters. But I realized I probably don't want to damage them carrying it from, back from home to the locals, risk damaging them. So I've got Yone here. And these are the Pop Mart figures, mystery boxes. Super happy that I got Yone. And the other one I was considering using is Talon. Also another very cool looking figure. Also again from the same mystery box from Pop Mart. So that's really cool. This one actually got given to me by a friend. So super appreciative that I got this from them. And the next thing I ordered was some playmats to play the card game on. So the first one is Jinx. So the reason why I got this one was I am planning to play Jinx as the first starter legend champion. I think she is the rushdown deck, and I like the rush style of decks from my experience from the Gundam card game. So yeah, just from a beginner's perspective, the only other game that I've played is Gundam, and Riftbound would be my second game. So basically, the mat has all the areas that we need. So on the left-hand side, we've got 8 points to win the game. Your rune deck goes here, which is your resources. Then you spread out your runes here, trash pile here, the main deck here, and then you got your champion, and then you got your legends. And then the battlefield here doesn't really make sense because there's two battlefields and it doesn't line up properly. So I think just being blank probably would have been better. But yeah, I'm super happy with this artwork. It turned out a lot better than I expected. And I'm also trying to get my missus into Riftbound so that we can play together at home and get some practice matches in. Otherwise, I'll just have to play by myself at the locals. Yeah, so that's the first playmat. So the second one, this one's for me and her, but the second one is specifically for the missus if she does decide to play with me. So this one, still the artwork looks amazing. This one is Lux. I believe Lux is only in the Proving Grounds. So I probably will have to pick up that set because her favorite champion is Lux. So it just makes sense for her to start off on Lux. But from what I've read, Lux wasn't the best deck to play, but we're just going to play for fun. So, it's a good starting deck to, I guess, learn to play the game. So yeah, super cool artwork. And my favorite champion, or my favorite mid laner, should I say, is Ari. And I saved the best for last. So this is the Faker skin. Love this design. The color scheme, everything just, looks so good. So yeah, this is, I'm hoping to pick up Ari. I think I'll start with Jinx because I did pre-order the starter set. So I don't know if Ari comes in a starter set. I think you have to get it through the booster boxes. So yeah, so as soon as I get enough cards, or be able to create a actual Ari deck, I will probably be shifting over to Ari. And my favorite ADC is Kaiser, which I know that there's also a deck for her. So yeah, super looking forward to this game. So I went out and ordered all these accessories for it. So I was going to use these guys as the damage counters, but yeah, I wasn't too sure about the idea of transferring them back and forth from home to the venue every time I go to play. Maybe I can use it if I'm just having friendlies at home, so I'm not actually taking it outside. But yeah, I reckon they look cool as a point counter instead of just having a little circle token kind of thing. So I also didn't want to risk breaking them or damaging them, so I decided to 3D print some models. So these are my first trial prints. I think I got the sizing kind of okay. I'll probably need to try a different, like a finer nozzle, like a 0.2. So this is printed on a 0.4 nozzle. The details are there, but I think on a 0.2 nozzle, it will look so much better and so much cleaner. So here we have Ari. So this is the first test print. And I think I got the sizing just right. Like it's not too big and it's not too small. And the details are there. Oh, this one got Timo for my other character, but it's got a little bit of a stain there. I think I got a bit of stain on it. I'm not sure where that came from, but yeah, I guess that comes off, so that's fine. Yeah, so my other character that I printed was Timo. Yeah, I printed him because the promo card was a Timo, so this will be cool to go along with that promo card. Details are nice. It's probably because it's a bit more solid of a character, so the details come out a lot nicer. So yeah, again, these will probably look better on a 0.2 nozzle. So that's Timo. And I actually printed this one for the missus because the other character she likes is Lulu. So I found a model of Lulu for her to use as her point counter. But then yeah, she can use any that we have, to be honest. But it'd just be nice to use a character that you like. Super happy with this one. I didn't think this one would turn out well, but it did. So yeah, if I use these and they break, I'm not going to be too sad because I can just print another one. Whereas the other figures, once I break them, I don't think I can. Well, I can, but it's a mystery box, so there's no guarantee that I'll be able to get the same characters again. Whereas these ones, I can just keep making them as they get damaged. And the other character I got is Vega. But I think this one, the base is slightly too big. But not like it affects anything, but it just looks a bit oversized for the base. So I probably won't use this one. Still a cool model nonetheless. Yeah, so pretty cool idea. I reckon using these little figures just makes it a little bit more immersive than just a little token that you put on the points, where you actually have a League of Legends character. It just makes it a little bit more cooler. And for me, aesthetically, it looks nicer as well. So yeah, I will try and get the missus to paint them and see how we go. She'll probably do a better paint job than I would. So if not, we'll just leave it as white. But yeah, they still look cool unpainted for what they are. And then lastly, we've got the promo cards. So they do look pretty cool. I was super happy to find out that they were giving out promo cards for the Learn to Play event. But I am slightly disappointed in the promo cards that they are just standard flat cards. By that I mean there is no special effects. Like it's not holographic or foil. It's just your normal common style card. So yeah, this is where I will probably start comparing my thoughts on the game versus the Gundam card game, where their promos look very cool. Let's see, what do I have here? So I've got a few cards here. So like we can see here, this is one of the participation packs for the last event. So this is the Overflowing Affection. So even for their promo cards, there's a bit of a holo effect, just to make it stand out a little bit more, like the rares in the packs, where they all have a little bit of holographic foiling on the background, where this is just very flat. Yeah, so all of them have some kind of texturing on them, and it just makes the card pop so much nicer. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed that this didn't have it, but still a very, very cool looking card. Love the artwork. The Teemo just looks super cute and cool at the same time. So super excited to open up a booster pack for this game. I've been avoiding as many spoilers as I can, so to experience the cards for the first time myself when opening the packs. So the cards that I have seen are from the decks that they provided during the Learn to Play. So I have seen a few, and the Champions card looks really cool. But yeah, so where my impression on the game so far, very enjoyable, very fun to play, but I don't think it's as casual friendly as the Gundam card game. I think for casuals, the Gundam card game, a lot of people will be able to pick up and play that a lot more easier than it is to pick up and play Riftbound. Just because there's a lot more happening in the game. So in Riftbound, you've got essentially 2 battlefields, and then you summon your units in your base. And then from your base, you move it to the different battlefields. So essentially, you'll summon one of your units, and imagine these are battlefields. You have to summon your unit in your base and then into a battlefield. And how you get points is by conquering these battlefields. So every time you conquer a battlefield, you gain 1 point. And then if you manage to hold the battlefield till your next turn, you also gain another point. So the objective of the game is to take control of the 2 battlefields. So that's where the complexity compared to Gundam kicks in. So whereas Gundam, you've just got your units that you deploy, and there is no battlefield to take control of. So where the decision making in this game differs is you've got 2 battlefields. Do you then have to decide, do I want to put all my units on one and defend this one? Or do I split my forces towards 2 different battlefields and try to take control of 2 battlefields at the same time? So there's a lot more decision making compared to Gundam. You also have spells and hidden cards and permanent effect cards that stay on the field. Whereas Gundam, most of the command cards are a one-time use. So once you use it, it just goes into your trash. Whereas with Riftbound, there are certain cards that stay on the board that gives you permanent passive effects, or you can activate the cards. So you always have to be mindful of what you have on your field and what the opponent has on their field. Whereas for Gundam, you only have to worry about what they have on their hand, because there is no effect that stays on the board unless it's their base. The base has some active effects that you can use, but besides that, most of the time the commands are from their hand or from a unit that's in play. So there, I feel like there's a lot more outplay potential in Riftbound. If played your cards well, you can definitely outplay your opponent. Whereas Gundam, you still can, but it's a bit more straightforward in what you can and can't do. Whereas this, you've got hidden cards, like this one can be hidden like face down. So I'm assuming there will be a lot more hidden cards when the booster box come out. This is probably the first hidden card that I've seen. So say hide now for a given resource to react later for 0. So when you play me, give me +3. I think that's attack point this turn. I don't know what the combat point, I guess. So in Riftbound, combat and so your damage and HP are the same. So this card has 1 combat point. So that means it has 1 HP and 1 attack power. Whereas in Gundam, a Gundam has a attack power and a health HP. So he's got 4 attack and 3 health. Whereas Riftbound is just a singular number, just to simplify things. I think it's good and bad. Definitely makes it easier. You don't have to keep track of 2 set of attack point and health point. But also damage is recovered after each turn. Whereas Gundam, the damage is persistent. So if you take 2 damage, that 2 damage stays there throughout the game until the unit is destroyed. Whereas Riftbound, any damage that a unit receives during that turn that doesn't kill it, it gets restored. So essentially, after each combat, the unit heals back to full health. So that's also one difference between the 2 games. But yeah, so just a general idea or general thought. Both game plays very differently. So I will continue to play Gundam, and this will be the next game that I am picking up. They both have the pros and cons. Both game plays very differently, so I think it's actually quite nice that they play differently. So I don't get burnt out on one or the other because they play very similarly. Whereas these 2 games are very different in nature. So yeah, so swapping between these 2 games, I think I'll be able to keep myself not from getting burnt out on a particular franchise or IP. So yeah, so the difference is also is so in Gundam you've got 6 shields, and then you take, so once you lost your 6 shields and they do the final damage, you essentially win the game. Whereas Riftbound, you need to collect 8 points, but the last 8th point, if I got this correctly, you need to either conquer 2 bases on the same turn to get the final 8 points, or you have to be holding a battlefield on your next turn to get the 8th point. So I'm thinking that's how it works, but yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still unsure about how the 8th point works. But I know you just can't just score the 8th point on a conquer. So what happens if you're on 7 points and then you move a unit to a battlefield and you conquer the battlefield, normally you would get a point for conquering. But for the 8th point, you can't win on a conquer. So what you do is you draw a card instead. Unless you can conquer 2 battlefields on the one turn, then you can score your 8th point. Or alternatively, you conquer a battlefield on this turn, you pass to the opponent, and if they can't clear this battlefield and take over the battlefield, then on your turn, I believe you get the 8th point for holding the battlefield. So yeah, so that's where it's a little bit different, which is also makes the game very interesting. So it's not just on your last point, you just conquer a battlefield and win the game. So yeah, so that's my first impression of Riftbound. The Learn to Play session was super fun. So I actually attended 2. So that's how I managed to get, well, I actually attended 3 from memory. But I don't know where my 3rd promo card is. It's probably somewhere. So I do have 3 of these. And my missus got one because she attended one of them with me. So yeah, super happy to have these promo cards. They are very cool because I think you need 3. Also, the difference is to Gundam is you need 3 for a playset, whereas Gundam you need 4 per playset. And then the other difference is starter decks. I believe Riftbound has 3. I think it's Jinx, Victor, Lee Sin. I think they're the main 3 that gets released. But the difference is I don't think they come with a special bonus pack like the Gundam ones do. By that I mean, so let's just open this one up. So with these Gundam starter kits or starter decks, you get the deck itself and the playmat and all that. Oh, and no got deck. But yeah, you do get a pretty cool bonus. So you get like a bonus pack that contains a alt art of one of the cards that are in the deck. So I don't think Riftbound does that, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice if they did something like that. That would be cool. Just because, for comparison, again, like a beginner in TCG, I don't really have anything to compare it to besides Gundam because that's all I know. Because I only just picked up this game when it came out, and yeah, so my experience in card game is very limited. But I thought this was super cool when I opened up a starter deck that they give you a bonus card. But yeah, I don't think Riftbound does that. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you do know that they do contain a little booster pack, that would be awesome. And leave it in the comment below so, that I know that it comes with one. The other thing I've noticed is the starter decks for Riftbound is also a lot more pricier than it is for the Gundam. I think the Riftbound ones were like $35 from memory that I pre-ordered. Where the Gundam ones, the first 4 set was only like $25, and then this one was $30. So it's Gundam's definitely increased their prices, but it still works out cheaper than the Riftbound starter packs. and I believe this one has more cards as well. I think Riftbound only has a deck of 40, whereas Gundam has a deck of 50. Yeah, so comment below if that's correct. I know Gundam's definitely 50, but I'm pretty sure Riftbound is only 40 for the main deck. I don't know if that includes the resources or not. But yeah, once we get some actual starter decks, we can count them up and see what we get inside the starter packs. So yeah, let's just do like a little bonus opening, I guess, and see what we get in this pack. Oh, is that an LR? Holy moly! What is the chances of me getting another LR plus on the Iron Bloom starter set? That is sick. Oh boy, this is so cool. Yeah, so for my first box opening that I ever got of the Iron Bloom starter deck, I actually pulled this card, and I can't believe I pulled the exact same card again. Oh man, do I have that other card with me? No, I don't. Yeah, so this is the second LR card that I pulled of the Gundam Barbatos 4th form. Oh boy, this is sick. I can't believe I pulled another one of these. I will gladly take this one for a duplicate. Woo! What's the chances of that? But yeah, well, you can, not saying it's a bad thing, but I wish that the Riftbound promos had some cool effects on it. That would just add that special flavor or flair to the card. But it's still early days. We don't. I believe the Chinese version of the Teemo promo card was a holographic one. But here we just got the plain old card. Hopefully with the launch event that's happening at the end of this month, we the next promo card will be something special. But for now, this is awesome. I still love it, and I am super stoked to pull a second Gundam Barbatos 4th form. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys again in the next episode. See ya.